Well, hello, welcome to Trying Every Archetype. The goal is really simple. I have about 400, almost 400 archetypes listed from Yu-Gi-Oh! From old to new to gold to bad to good. There's archetypes with various cards in it. I don't know how many. Then there's archetypes with maybe 2 cards. In the previous episode, I did Nekogal. Now, I don't know why it landed on Nekogal. I don't know why Nekogal consists of like 2 cards in it. The point is, let's see what we're gonna get, and then each one we do, we remove it from the wheel, and let's see how far we get. And if you want to participate, feel free. Welcome to the TEA challenge. I don't know. Can you really beat every archetype? Let's see what we get. Spinning now. Wait, we got Dogmatika? No way we got Dogmatika. You know how to play last episode? And we get Dogmatika. Dude, that's goated. That's actually insane. I'm really happy about that. I really hope that we cook with gas. And hopefully you're along for a ride. I'll see you after I finish deck building. Well, hello, Editor Knows here. I'd like to note, I'll be honest, this video is a wash. I've made so many misplays. I had to cut out like 4 different, gameplays because my opponent kept quitting. And like I kept bricking or something. Don't worry, Dogmatika is good. Dogmatika is good. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but on today's episode of Misplays with Nost, here's your board. We have basically a Chaos Angel made with a light and a dark monster, and an Edo Supreme on the field. Well, Edo Supreme effect means that when it's summoned on my side of the field, I cannot... Is it like normal set monsters? I basically lost me out of summoning. And my Chaos Angel is unaffected by the activated effects of monsters. Now, that's pretty cool. Like Psychic and Punisher, we love that. And we're currently staring down a Mirror Jade, and it is my turn. The Despin Caritas was made, and a great Battle of Gold Gondas on the field, which, on resolution, if a card I control were to be destroyed by card effect, I think, or battle, I believe, then I can bin 1 card that mentions Fallen of Albaz from extra deck. So, basically, this is the most unaffected I could ever get. Now, here's my question to you, the viewer. How do I screw this up? So, an interesting in-phase effect that could trigger is Mirror Jade's effect. Mirror Jade's effect could trigger here, because that's what it looks like it means to me. That won't work. My Brimbo and Crimbo, you just played yourself. May there be chaos, I guess. Wouldn't this just, like, really screw you? If Edo is destroyed by card effect, summon it from your graveyard, and if you do, destroy all monsters you control. Did you not have opening? You triggered that effect? You must have a way to summon, you must have like a way to block that card, because like if not, then you just lose, right? He doesn't have the retribution thing going, right? He already retribution, he doesn't have, what do you mean avoid destruction? I'm not avoiding destruction. No, Edo can go bye-bye. Oh wait, what? That kills you too? Oh, it's not an activated effect. Whoopsie. Hello, my name's Nost. And the wheel landed on Dogmatika. Surprisingly, like how we go from Nekogal to Dogmatika, that is insane, right? Anyways, we are currently on MD3 Pro, which is a dueling simulator very much like Master Duel, except you get all your cards immediately. Whole lot of other features. If you want to play me, feel free. Basically, this is a very interesting deck. But we're not talking about the deck, we're talking about the archetype. Let's type in, let's get Dogmatika. So, Dogmatika is a series of monster spells and traps of an archetype whose main goal is basically to kill your opponent's extra deck. They're a very extra deck resilient deck where monsters summoned from the extra deck don't do much to them. They're protected by monsters from the extra deck. They also send their own monsters from the extra deck to the graveyard to activate various effects. It's part of the branded lore with Fallen of Albaz, a whole big story. Basically, I'm going to explain what the game plan is. I'm going to explain like the cards. I'm not going to get too much into depth, but I'm going to be really cut about it. Like, it's going to be super chopped up simple. I'm not going to explain everything in every sitting. I'm going to explain what you need to know. So here's what you don't need to know first. This card is a level 11, doesn't really matter. Basically, Dogmatika Nexus is like the supposed boss monster. It has a cool battle phase effect, and you know, it's not that good. What's really important is the Searcher. The Searcher's Dogmatika Ecclesia the Virtuous, a level 4 light spellcaster. Can't be destroyed by battle with monster special summon from the extra deck. That's very important because basically that's the whole gimmick. If you're summoning from the extra deck, we hate you. You know, we hate people like that, you know. So Ecclesia is the Searcher as well, because when normal or special summon, it gets to search a Dogmatika card from your deck to your hand. Now, it doesn't state spell, trap, or monster, it says Dogmatika card in general, so that is honestly quite amazing. Also, did you know, this card can special summon itself if a monster special summon from the extra deck is on the field. So it is a free special summon, it is a Searcher, it has battle protection, honestly, really great card. There's also more synergies that I'll get into after we play our games. Next up, we have the second greatest card in this deck, Dogmatika Maximus. A level 8 light spellcaster from the Dogmatika series, 3000 defense, big booty. Now, you can banish a Synchro, Xyz, Link, or Fusion monster from your graveyard, especially on this card. Now, that's not bad. And I would like to note, these Dogmatika cards, when you activate their effects, well, some of them, they basically prevent you from special summoning from the extra deck, so you are locked out, so keep that in mind. Alright, now what I do have to say is it has a very unique effect. During the main phase, you can send 2 monsters with different names from your extra deck to the graveyard. Also, your opponent sends 2 monsters from their extra deck to the graveyard. I think that is insane, by the way. There are cards that are in your extra deck that have really interesting effects when they're sent to the graveyard. For example, we have so many options. We have Intis, when sent to the graveyard, pops a card. We have Aggregator, when sent to the graveyard, targets a card, a face-up card, and negates its effects. We have Herald of Archetype, when sent to the graveyard, searches a ritual spell or ritual monster. And then the Fallen of Albaz Archetype specializes in effects when they're sent to the graveyard during the end phase activating effect. So Maximus being able to send 2 is almost a star in its own. And that's honestly quite amazing. We have Dogmatika Fleur-de-Lis the Knighted, which is almost like kind of part of your end piece. It's a hand trap. We love hand traps. Basically, I think you can special summon this card during the main phase if a monster special summon from the extra decks on the field. Special summon this card from your hand, then if you control another Dogmatika monster, you can negate the effects of one face-up monster on the field until the end of this turn. That's kind of crazy, right? Non-targeting negates are very hard to come by because, I mean, in today's age, most cards are definitely affected by targeting, but totally fine. Now, what I decided to also mess with is Dogmatika Aishin, which special summons itself if you control, if a extra deck card, extra deck monster, you know, is sent from, you know, the extra deck to the graveyard. No, if an extra deck monster is sent to the graveyard, basically, it's special summon itself. Then if it's special summon from the hand, you can target a Dogmatika card in your graveyard, and then add it to your hand. Really interesting, like. And then, you know, it has another effect, make all Dogmatika monsters you control gain 500 attack when your opponent declares an attack. I don't know. Just like Fleur-de-Lis slight buff where it makes all Dogmatika monsters you control gain 500 when you attack. That's also pretty cool, and it sometimes has a use case. But let's get into the cards that don't mention, they mention Dogmatika, right, but it's not in the name. So you have to look out for that. So we have, you know, Quim. Quim is an interesting card because it kind of bridges Dogmatika with Branded. I mean, many other cards do it, but this one is really interesting. It's always treated as a Dogmatika and a Despy card, and when normal or special summon, you can send a card that mentions Fallen of Albaz or is Fallen of Albaz from your deck to the graveyard. Then if a card leaves the extra deck, which means if you summon from the extra deck, you know, then bingo bango. You get to target a card, you can target a Fallen of Albaz or a monster that mentions it and special summon it. Now your goal is to use Fallen of Albaz because we have one of these. We'll get into that later. We're still explaining the archetype, but this one bridges and does stuff. This card, don't worry about it. There's a new monster that came out that basically has an insane summoning condition of Fallen of Albaz plus 6 monsters in your graveyard with different names. Don't even get me started on how we're summoning this card. We also have this other new Dogmatika. It had an effect, I kind of forgot. We have Grand Guignol. Don't worry about it. we have Titaniclad. Now, let's imagine you have your Maximus on field, and you want to send a monster from your extra to the graveyard to get you more advantage. Now, Titaniclad, the Ash Dragon, has an effect when it's sent to the graveyard to actually add to your hand or special summon a Dogmatika monster or Fallen of Albaz from your deck. Pretty convenient, right? Now let's get into the funny part. So Dogmatika, they hate the extra deck. So what do they do instead? They use monsters that are in the main deck. And what is a cool boss monster type thing you can do? Ritual summons. So they mess with ritual summoning because, you know, it's not an extra deck summon and it gets stuff going. And I think the most interesting card of them all with the most unique effect is Dogmatika Albazoa. This is an insane 4,000 level 12 beautiful card. Unfortunately, it's not that generic anymore. It's not that generic. It can only be a ritual summon with a Dogmatika Calamity or a Dogmatika card effect, which makes me very sad. It has a cool effect though, where monsters you control, your Dogmatika monsters that you control are unaffected by your activated effects of your opponent's fusion, synchro, basically extra deck monsters that aren't pendulum summoned. And then during your main phase, you can make your opponent choose and apply one of the effects. So I activate the effect where you either, for every 2 cards in your extra deck, send 1 card from your hand or extra deck to the graveyard. So if my opponent controls 15, I think they send like 7, which is insane. Or they can choose to return all of their extra deck monsters on the field that they control back to the extra deck. So if they have like an Xyz monster on field, they can choose that effect and just bounce it back instead of losing 7 cards out of their extra deck. Now if they don't have an extra deck monster on the field that they control, they can't choose this effect, so they're forced to just rip their extra deck. So your goal is to remove your opponent's extra deck, and then you capitalize on that. Really cool. Now, there's some cards that kind of start the way, they have really cool searchers involving your extra deck and your opponent's. There's this really crazy one I'm starting to learn is like card effects that also support you, but they give you a bonus effect if you're going second. Now, Dogmatika Matrix is a continuous spell that when activated adds a Dogmatika ritual or Dogmatika ritual monster or ritual spell from your deck to your hand. Then if your opponent controls a monster, you know, that extra boost, you can add a Dogmatika card from your deck to your hand. That's insane. It doesn't just search spell traps but monsters. Your Dogmatika Matrix can add the ritual and Ecclesia, which is a searcher, for another card. Or your Ecclesia can add Dogmatika Matrix, and if your opponent controls a monster, you get to add a ritual, plus another Dogmatika card. But what you normally would do with this, if you want to get out your Albazoa, you would, off of this, you would add basically Mate Calamity plus Albazoa, if you already activated Ecclesia. But if not, then you can go Albazoa plus Ecclesia, and then Ecclesia can search your Calamity or Maximus. No, your Ecclesia can search your Maximus, and your Maximus banishes Sin's Arclight. Arclight can search Calamity, so that's cool. Anyways, now that we understand that this archetype is really kind of consistent in some way, we can start talking about one last card that you would normally run in this deck, which is Dogmatika Punishment. Basically, it is a normal trap card, by the way, can be searched off of Ecclesia, Matrix, all that, which has the effect that target one face-up monster your opponent controls, send 1 monster with an equal or higher attack from your extra deck to your graveyard, and if you do, destroy that monster. Until the end of this turn, until the end of your next turn after this card resolves, you can add special summon monsters from the extra deck. So, really cool card. It's extra advantage because what people normally do when they want to like get double the advantage, remember this doesn't discriminate. You can send any extra deck monster that only has higher attack. So if my opponent has a monster that they're activating that only has 100 attack, I can send Intis to the graveyard, target their card, pop it. Then Intis can also trigger, since it just got sent to the graveyard, to target another card and pop it. So it honestly stacks advantage. Or if you need to search more monsters, you can choose to send Titaniclad so that on the end phase you can search or add a card. Now that we got all that out the way, let's talk about the cards that aren't really as useful, but I'll still go over them. But this is like outside of your normal, how people would normally play Dogmatika. And that's what I wanted to introduce. People play Dogmatika, man, but I wanted to just mess with the archetype and see what's up. I'm not trying to make it competitive. I'm just trying to have fun playing a deck. And that's what we're here for. I know you have to balance between is the deck good and is the deck fun, but I think you can get a good mix where it's not always fun and it's not, I mean, it's not always just like banger after banger, but it is fun to play it the other way. And this is when you introduce the White Knight of Dogmatika and what is it? Dogmatika Cabre. So Cabre ritual summons any Dogmatika ritual monster from your hand or graveyard, which is really nice. I really love that. And it requires you to tribute monsters from your hand or field and or banish fusion or synchro monsters from your graveyard whose total level equals or exceeds that monster. Then if you control White Knight and Relic of Dogmatika, I'll get to those, you can look at either your extra deck or your opponent's and send one monster from it to the graveyard. That effect won't be activated very often because it requires you to have 2 ritual monsters on the field. Crazy, right? Just to ritual summon a third one. You're not pulling that off. But it's interesting in how even if you have the ritual monster in your grave, this one can ritual summon it from the graveyard. And then as part of the materials, you don't have to like tribute monsters on your hand or field. You can banish already used up effects like your Titaniklad that you activated the last turn or stuff like that. Really cool, I love it. And here's some of the ritual monsters. We have White Knight of Dogmatika. It's a level 8, not that bad. Basically it just says that I cannot spell summon monster from the extra deck. That kind of sucks. I don't care about that effect. It sucks. It only has 500 attack. I don't like that part. What the part I do like is that if your opponent activates a card or effect except during a damage step, I can send one monster from my extra deck to the graveyard, and if I do, look at my opponent's extra deck and send one monster from it to the graveyard. Then this card gains attack equal to the half the combined attack of those monsters sent to the graveyard until the end of its turn. Now this card can gain a lot of attack, I'm be honest, that's why it's 500. Like if I send a 4000 attack and send one of their 4000 attack, this card would be at 4500 probably. Now what's interesting is that this provides extra advantage and rips out their extra deck vital pieces that they need. Let's imagine they wanted to go for an Almirage or something like that. They want to go for SP Little Knight. They activate a card effect so they can spell summon from deck. I can trigger White Knight of Dogmatika because my opponent activates a card effect. I can send maybe Intis for extra disruption, Herald of Archetype for extra searches, another Titaniklad for a special summon on end phase. And then I get to rip one of their vital pieces from their extra deck because in today's age, extra deck monsters are pretty useful. Like most decks will not be doing anything with just their main deck. It requires an extra deck. So yeah, so basically I wanted to dig into the ritual half of this deck. Really just get all fun with it, you know, just like screw the extra deck, screw your extra deck. And that also applies with White Relic. Pretty much it can't be destroyed by battle. Wait, what's the card do? This card's ritual summon target 2 face-up monster on the field, make one of those gain attack equal to the attack of the other. Level leader higher Dogmatikas can't be destroyed by battle. Great. So this one makes your Albazoa like with Maximus, it makes your Albazoa have like 6500 attack for an OTK. And then if a monster spells summon from your opponent's extra deck, I can look at my opponent's extra deck and then just bin a card. So this deck theoretically should be able to win if my opponent doesn't have any outs in the main deck. My goal is to remove their outs in the main deck, go with the extra deck, a little bit of sauce, that's for sure. We're gonna play a match, and then after that I can explain the deck, so. Alright, we're currently going first. This hand isn't bad, I guess. If we get Ash, we're kinda boned, but let's pre-prep. Oh, you're gonna Ash pre-prep? You're not Ashing pre-prep. It's probably White Relic and Cabre. Actually, no, I can do White Knight and Cabre. Saying I can't spell someone from the extra deck is going to suck, though. Banish, fusion, or synchro monsters from your graveyard. Ah, man, I'm trying to figure out, like, how I'm gonna pull. You know, we're gonna go Cabre here. We're gonna tribute our Maximus for the White Relic here. If they do any funny business, we can always send a card. Then we can go Ecclesia here. We're not going to Jowgen because that won't be necessary just yet. We'll Ecclesia. Ecclesia for... what do we add here? I wish I had access to Maximus in all honesty. I don't though. Most I can do is Fleur. Like... I'm gonna be honest, this is not a good hand. I think we have to grab Kurgi then. I think it's Dogmatic Kurgi, unfortunately. We can't Maximus at all. So we're on Ecclesia this and pass. It's fine. It's fine. I wonder, can I summon Pressure Planet Rate Soth, huh? Well, before they activate the effect, I might as well just go Kurgi then. Actually, probably won't be necessary just yet. He adds himself Unicorn. I need to pop the Unicorn. Sure. It's not necessary just yet. Unicorns on live. Great. I mean, I'm gonna go Kurgi then. Kurgi! Wait, we can summon Zoa here using both of them, but we don't need to. We can just Relic. Sweet. We don't need to trigger the effect, by the way. We wait for the Unicorn to go off. Sweet. They add themselves Birth. It's just White Knight pop. No, he has Birth though, right? That's fine. I wonder if he has Theosis on live. Allure Dance. Bro's actually playing the Allure Queen stuff too. That's so funny. I'm also playing it. Gets Palace. Mans is gonna be doing a lot of shenanigans. I think he wants to summon the level 7, right? Yeah, I could let him trigger the effect in all honesty, but he has Birth. My issue is the Birth, right? Yeah, there's Birth. Great. Yeah, we'll White Knight pop Birth. I don't have a Fallen of Albaz target, unfortunately, so I think it's just Intis. Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like it's just Intis in that case. And then we rip one of their cards as well. Ooh, man says like SP Diablosis, like... Man, what a phenomenal, like, thing you got going on here. It's probably just... Goodbye, Rise Heart, I guess. Oh, I guess they choose. Goodbye, Mr. Rise. Unicorn, remove a card. Intis, pop Birth. No free normal summon for you. Not sure what you're ripping either, by the way. Sure, what are you ripping? I don't care. I don't think I care in this situation, right? Like, it's not that bad. My extra deck doesn't really do anything. It only just sends cards. You got rid of the Chaos Angel? That sucks. I do like that card, by the way. It's gonna go Allure Palace. What's he pitching? Altergeist Melusik? For 7? He can't make another 7, though. Pitches the 7. To grab normal Allure Queen, probably. No, add 5. Oh, there's a normal Allure Queen. Wait, is he trying to do like the pitch into pitch thing? Like, you pitch, add, pitch, add, pitch, add. He's got 7 on field, 7 to target 7. If he goes into an Xyz, I don't think he's gonna go into an Xyz though, right? He summons a 3. Yeah, that works. Sends both, summon 5 probably. Equipping 7 sucks. Oh, this summons Melusik. Okay. Moon Maiden. Goes Moon Maiden here. I guess we go White Relic then. Rip another card out the deck. He's gonna probably SP. I'm just gonna rip the SP then. Yeah, SP seems kinda good. We just gotta, we'll get rid of the SP. My cards are unfortunately not unaffected just yet. Yeah. Wait, he's playing Altergeist? Cash Tira Allure Queen. I'm also playing Allure Queen, but I didn't know you were gonna cook like that. I didn't even see any Allure Queens in there. What? Is he trying to make the Link 3? Yeah. Golden, okay. Golden summon the Lure Queen. I already activated both card effects though. Oh wait, this is Chaos Angel, right? Wait, no, it makes Barone. Wait, Barone's not banned in pre-rep? Well, I'm finna get Nene on. Would be nice to summon Zoa at least. Zoa would have helped me. Then he sends those off, summons as many Allure Queens as possible. He has a 7, a 3, and a 5. 7, 3, and a Chaotic probably, or... No, I think he has 7, 3, and 5. 3... 7... 5. Yeah, that's pretty decent. That's Chaos Angel access. Yep. Oh, he's gonna go Mind Hacker? Okay. Mind Hacker effect. Oh, I wish I had more gas than the 2 rituals. Yep, I'm finna lose a card. Especially losing that Chaos Angel sucks. Oh, he was running just straight up ban cards. It'd be like that sometimes. We're fighting OP monsters now, man. What else did he banish? My Albaz and my Lure Queen. That sucks too. Chirozzo. That is a spellcaster and one of those. What are you going to make? You can't SP. I don't see any like other combo you got into. 4K is a lot though. Is there a link monster I didn't remember? I don't know. Is there like a here's what's in your extra deck because I saw it? There it is. Lovely. Yeah, I don't see anything you can make, right? Like, what are you making here? You can't increase the level of your Lure Queen, so... To be honest, would a Jowgen have done anything? What would Jowgen have stopped? His hand was basically... Unicorn? His hand was Unicorn... and a Lure Queen. Was this treated as a level... What the... Ancient Fairy Dragon, he can do that, yeah. I'm trying to think about it. Does Jowgen just actually stop half of these decks? Would have been able to out Jowgen? I don't think so. Gonna go Barone to pop. Unfortunately, I don't have Albazoa, so these cards are not unaffected. Goes Battle Phase. Barone into the White Relic. Dude, I'm fighting uphill battles, man. This doesn't prevent battle damage, right? It doesn't. I think it's Ecclesia, right? Dogmatika monster you control can have destroyed by battle if a monster... What? Oh, it says level 8 or higher. So yeah, I see. So he has a negate on field. I do have... What's in my graveyard? Do I have an extra deck in my graveyard? I have Intis. So... There's a couple things I could do here. Depending on the draw, I can go Jowgen to beta negate, then go Maximus. I think we're gonna have to do that, unfortunately. Does he have a... When your opponent activates a card effect, destroy a card in the field? It's not bad. I don't know what a set card is. No, set card's not Birth either. I can activate Kurgi. At different levels, add 1 to the hand, place other on bottom of the deck. I can add Ecclesia to hand, which is really nice, but first things first, we're going to start baiting with Jowgen here. Jowgen threatens all his cards. Jowgen threatens every card he has. So we're going to go Jowgen. Discard Zoa. Dude, that was random? I did not know that was random. I just got lucky. I thought, dude, if that discarded Maximus, I was going to be screwed. He's going to go Baron de Fleur to do the negate. That's totally necessary, by the way. Great. Good. Next up, we can go Baron, we can go Dogmatika to add ourselves back Ecclesia. Yeah, we need that Ecclesia back, I'm gonna be honest with you. Ecclesia's the way to go. Wait, what? Add 1 to your hand, place other on the bottom of the deck. Yeah, can you place Albazoa on the bottom of the deck? Thank you. Man, that trap card's actually really good. Add to hand, Ecclesia, obviously. Man, that's a really good card effect. That graveyard effect's so useful. We're gonna go Ecclesia now. We're gonna be Ecclesia in here. He doesn't have a negate that I know of. Then we can trigger Ecclesia's effect. Hopefully I can add a card that's really useful. He's going to destroy my card. That doesn't negate though. Lurkwing cannot be destroyed by card effects for the rest of the turn. That's not necessary. Ecclesia goes through. I can then add Matrix to hand. Because they don't know that I have a second Maximus, which is so funny. We are going to go Matrix here. You already baited the negate. Yes, we're going to be adding ourselves Dogmatic Calamity here. And then we can also add ourselves the yeah, it's just Calamity Zoa here. Calamity plus Zoa. It's going to be just necessary. Unfortunately, we don't have enough cards to actually do anything with it. So what we have to do is go Maximus. Maximus to banish the Intis, because this card requires me tribute monsters on the hand or field, or send a ritual monster from extra deck. Since we don't have access to the other guy, we gotta do this the hard way. We're gonna go Maximus here. Because then we can just add a card. What I think needs to be added, needs to be sent is like... It's not Aggregator, right? Because Albaz got banished, I believe. Albaz got banished, which really sucks. What I think it's probably is Titaniclad plus Herald of Archetype. Tribute both, makes a good combo. I think it's gonna be Herald of Archetype and Bucephalus. And then they send 2 cards. I'm going to Calamity. We have to Calamity because Calamity is really good prevention here. We're gonna go Bucephalus now. Bucephalus, send ourselves Garura. Grab an extra draw, please. If I had to fight a Droll, I wouldn't be in a good spot. Oh, that's so good, actually. Really good. We can go Calamity here. Oh, we already used our ritual, so me sending that card really did nothing, so I had to... Dang, I wasn't paying attention. I think we're forced to tribute the Ecclesia and the Maximus here. Make ourselves Albazoa. Now, you have one of 2 options. Are you going to return your monsters back to the extra deck? Or are you going to send cards to the grave? They may return to extra deck in all honesty. Yeah, they're going to return. Yeah, they want to keep their Barone on field. And their Golden Lure Queen. Alright. Let's see, what card do we do for our extra deck? If we send a card, what would it be? There's no good cards to send for us. If we send to Titaniclad, we can summon Fleur de Lis. Fleur de Lis does nothing. Our cards do nothing. We gotta rip one of their cards. Yeah, we're forced to rip their card. They have a Chaos Angel and Chirozzo. We just get rid of the Chaos Angel then, right? We bend the Chaos. We go Battle Phase. Golden Allure Queen means very little here. We can just kill the Barone then. We don't want Barone to summon back a Kashtira Unicorn. Unfortunately, leaving the Golden Allure Queen on the field does suck, and we did misplay like a lot, but it's fine. We misplayed a lot, I'm gonna be honest with you. Losing an extra deck versus losing an extra deck, am I right? Wait, what? Oh man, wait, we got that? We actually got that? That's crazy. Alright, thought I'd had a normal game going. He goes, was it? Imseti? Pitch Fuvaros for King Sart, draw a card. Go King Sart. King Sart, special summon back the Imseti. King Sart, second effect. Pitches the Maxi, sends Happy, Happy special summon itself. That's pretty cool, honestly. Horse with some Galaxy Eyes, maybe. He ranks up into Draguxion. When someone can add a Tachyon card from deck to hand, he adds the Tachyon Primal. Primal can't special summon itself to your field or your opponent's. Special summon itself to its field, searches itself Transmigration, the new, well, you know, make and use the draft card. Draguxion goes off, detaches 2, ranks up into a Dragon Exeus with 3000, boom. Summons Tachyon Dragon. What's next? Oh, King Sark pitching the second Primal, and then summoning Domateth. Okay, goes into another rank 8. Oh, they're going into Photon Lord? Okay, so that's a monster negate on field and a transmigration. Kind of scary. My opening hand isn't bad. So when I start off... Oh, he max sees me as well. Honestly, I love playing against broken deck. Anyway, we go Ultimate Slayer Aggregator for the Photon Lord, and then the Aggregator to target the Tachyon Dragon. We then go Allure Queen here. Allure Queen, I know we're giving him draws, we really shouldn't. He goes Transmigration, really sucks, shovels my stuff back. I think I'd rather deal with the Transmigration than the double monster negates here. Then he goes, then I go Maximus. Maximus punching the Aggregator. Maximus effect gets hit with another Transmigration. Honestly, making him draw is not a good idea. Honestly, that's where I messed up. Don't worry about it. Then go Dogmatika Matrix. We add ourselves Albazoa plus Ecclesia. Then we go Dogmatika Calamity. We send ourselves that Despian Luluwalith. Then we ritual summon ourselves into Albazoa. Pretty cool, right? He's still drawing cards, which I don't like. He chooses to pitch back his Xyz monsters. We go straight into the Dogmatika Matrix to look through his extra deck and rip a card from it. To be honest, no matter what I rip, he still has combo plays. But what I think I chose here was Dragublion. I did choose a Dragublion here. Then we go Ecclesia. Ecclesia to add Kurgi to hand, because honestly, what would have been better would have been Dogmatika Punishment, but I didn't have Punishment in the deck. Lore accurate dual be like. Anyways, don't mind the extra deck, the side deck. I've never built a side deck in my life. I forgot these games were matches. I'm really getting used to the simulator, and I'm trying to figure out where do I play people that aren't playing banned cards per se, but you know what I mean, right? I still had fun. Anyways, let me explain the deck. We got one Fleur-de-Lis to add off Ecclesia or Titaniclad. One Ishun because, I don't know, it felt funny to run a card that people don't really run because it targets a Dogmatika card and adds it to from graveyard to hand. That was pretty cool. Maximus, 3 Maximus, you know why. Allure Queen Engine's really cool because it also sets your Dogmatika Matrix ablaze. It's like, hey, your opponent got a monster? You gave him a monster? Free! Get it going, you know? I thought that was really cool. Allure Queen Engine also is just super helpful as well, just making Chaos Angel. I don't know. Also, there's a really unique thing with the Allure Palace where it has the effect where the Allure Queen that has a monster equipped to it can send itself to the graveyard to special summon a spellcaster with 1500 less attack from your deck. The unique case is that if you have 2 ways to pull this out, you can summon Jowgen at the very end of your combo, and then they just can't special summon. You can also summon Ecclesia to extend your combo or make your combo work if you open nothing but like Allure and like they ash one of your combo pieces, right? So that's really unique. That's what I do like about it. It grants you access to your Dogmatika engine if your Nadir servant gets ashed or Dogmatika Matrix is not enough by itself. So that's what we're running the Allure Queens. We got one Albaz because Lulu Wallace summoned Quim, Albaz. We're running some of the Albaz monsters because they do help us. Titaniclad adds a Dogmatika. Albalenitus and we have the one Branded Fusion, by the way. Albalenitus gets the Branded Fusion so we can make, I don't know, Sanctifier, since we do have Jowgen, by the way. Branded Fusion send Albaz plus Jowgen to make Sanctifier, and then Sanctifier summon Jowgen plus out. You know the joke, right? We got one Renbrum because what if Maximus already sent Bucephalus to send Garura? We can just send Renbrum if Albaz is like pitched off of Allure Queen, so that, you know, I can banish Renbrum, summon Albaz, and then use one of their monsters. We got the Mirror Jade for the Albaz. One Harpy, I don't even care about the non-engine here. We got the triple Ecclesia. What else? We got the Albazoa as the boss piece. I really wanted to integrate like Dogmatika. We got the White Knight. Yeah, it's a funny use case. It's like Fenrir, but it's Cash Tier Unicorn, but it takes more effort. We got one Relic. I'm gonna be honest, don't run the rituals. Don't run this and this. Though the funny interaction is that pre-preparation of rites adds a ritual spell and a monster that name is mentioned on it. Now you think, well, Dogmatic Calamity doesn't mention it, and then if you look at Dogmatic Habre, it says this card can be used to ritual summon any Dogmatic ritual monster. And I'm like, that doesn't have the name on it, but if you scroll down, you see that it has the effect that. Then if both White Knight Dogmatic and White Relic are on the field, you can look at it, and I'm like, oh, that's where the name's on the card. It's so funny. Triple Nadir Servant because Nadir Servant Goat. Dogmatic Kurgi, such an interesting card. You know, shuffle, it adds back. It's like Ishun, kind of, technically. You know, my Albazoa got I don't know, Dark Hold. It's so stupid. It's not unaffected boss monster, just buy the extra deck. But there's so many cards that can deal with this monster, because it's not immune to normal main deck monsters, and is not immune to spell trap removal, which is prevalent. Dogmatic Calamities is super funny. Send Lulu Wallace, summon a monster light spellcaster whose attack equals their defense. This card can summon Chaotic Lure Queen, by the way. It's super funny. Summon Aishin, Ecclesia, Maximus for free. Oh, also, did you know the field spell gives your spellcasters 500 attack and defense, which makes this card a 4500. These make like actual monster cards. Like Maximus has 3500 defense due to this field spell. Also, I think you only need one field spell because this card adds any one of the cards, which means if you have field spell in hand, this card just adds an Allure Queen. If you have too many field spells, this becomes like just not good, right? Now, as for the extra deck, oh, I forgot, funny card, Decisive Battle of Golconda, right? If a card were to be destroyed, send a future monster and mentions Fallen Valbaz as material. Oh wait, are you telling me if this card were to be destroyed by Harpy's Feather Dust or Lightning Storm, or if my Chaos Angel, which I should have used the effect to protect my Chaos Angel, I messed up. I could just bin one of my cards and then use it later. Like, if I have an Albaz in graveyard, they threaten my Chaos Angel with a Dark Hole. I can resolve Decisive Battle, send Rinbrum effect, summon Albaz, and then fusion summon their monster off. Like, super funny interaction. We got Albion because Jowgen. We got, you know, the lineup. Now, we got Intis because you want to pop cards. I decided to do the Dogmatika deck differently. Most people would run it like, okay, I'm gonna run like White Force. I'm gonna run Allure Queen. No one really tried Allure Queen yet. I'm just gonna run Ken and Gen so I can activate my triple tactics talents and stuff like that. And I'm like, that's all fine, but I want to try something different. You know, throw a little unique sauce on it. This feels more Dogmatika than I thought it would be. Oh, Ibly. I don't know why I had Ibly in here, to be honest, because like Jowgen does the same thing. Ibly is interesting. Like, you'd have to normal it, and I do have normal summons like Allure Queen 3, but it's fine. Ibly can just kill outright if you get Dogmatika Matrix as well. It's just, Ibly's still a good card. We got one Ultimate Slayer because we can send, I don't know, Bucephalus. Bucephalus can send Rinbrum or Garua. Garua is the free draw, useful, you have no idea. Intis, pop, Lulu Wallace summon, Chaos Angel because you have too many Allure Queens on the field. Ooh, by the way, the use case, the 7 and the 5 was used for the Albazoa, even though I didn't need to. Herald of Arclight, I was going to run 2, but in situations where you can send 2 Arclights to the grave, you would rather send something else to extend better. 1 Aggregator for a target negate. We're running the Golden Allure Queen because why not? I don't know. As for the side deck, I just built it in a second. I don't know, like a Droll, I don't know. If they want me going second Lightning Storm, extra Ultimate Slayers to send, a Thrust for a Talents, and a Herald of the Abyss just in case you're sticking with like an unaffected monster. I don't know what the pool of players is like, but yeah. Called by for no reason. Triple Punishment if I'm going first, because then I can actually start playing Dogmatika. But what I think is unique is that in this deck, you're using your extra deck monsters like 3 times over. You're using them to send it, you're using them to summon them. It's just so interesting. Also, I like how Chaos Angel has the effect that, like, Albazoa should have had. Like, why can this still be destroyed by battle by a normal monster or something? Like, I don't know. Without Albazoa, you saw how my White Knight and my Relic got destroyed by battle. So goofy. Anyways, that was it. Pros and cons, super fun deck. I would say fun deck. Options limitless. I honestly am really interested. Just go out there, play Dogmatika, build however you want it. There's many builds on the internet. You don't even have to run this build. Super fun deck. You can play on a casual level. You can do even more. You can boost it out with hand traps. You see, I'm not even running hand traps in all honesty, because this is just like preliminary. I just speed ran it, and I don't want the video to be like 5 hours long. So thank you for watching. Let's find out what the next wheel is next time. Hope I'll see you there.